All right, are the parties here on Julian Jimenez yet? Okay, I'm going to take that as a no. Anyone else have your paperwork ready?
Mr. Darnell Hurd should have, he signed everything. He should have it.
Judge, my client's present, so.
We've signed the plea paperwork and the discovery acknowledgement, Judge. We are only missing the certification of appeal and the application for deferred probation. And then after we have that paperwork, we will be ready as well. So I just don't know who to ask for that. I don't know.
Okay.
Alice, you said you put probation. You just put probation. You didn't say deferred.
I apologize, Norma. It is deferred probation. So
Okay. So
Judge, we got, this is Bohack here. We got Mr. Sanchez present. We've got all this paperwork in. I think we're ready to go.
Okay, has your client been sworn in yet?
No, Judge, he hasn't been sworn in.
All right, I'll send you to a breakout room.
And can you send also Darnell Hurd also?
Yes.
Thank you.
All right, Mr. Hurd and Mr. Sanchez, if you all will go to breakout room number 2, please. And is there a Mr. Hurd here? All right, there is not a Mr. Hurd here. And Rebecca, the plea for Julian Jimenez, there's not going to be an application on that.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. All right, anyone else who has any paperwork ready?
He said my client, Mr. Hurd, says he's joining. Maybe he's in the waiting room. I don't see him.
No, he's not on the Zoom. I don't see him here. So if you would like to call him.
I did. He's saying he's joining. I apologize.
No, that is him now. I'll send him to a breakout room.
Thank you so much.
Send him to breakout room number 2 to go over paperwork.
Oh, you're already done. It's all done. We just need to have him sworn.
Has he been sworn in?
No, he just needs to be sworn.
But that's
Sorry.
where he's going.
Oh, sorry.
No problem. And who is the female on the screen who's listed as U705AA? The lady in the black top. What is your name? Does anyone know who this person is? Okay, I guess we'll never know. All right, as soon as somebody's ready, we will start.
Your Honor, can I approach?
Hello?
Your Honor, can I approach?
Yes.
Hi, I'm present for Mr. Mark Moreno. He's on the docket today. It is going to be a plea, and I'm just
Okay.
waiting for the paperwork, but I just wanted to inform the court. I am also subsequently waiting and presiding to get sent out, which may never happen, but if it does, I guess, do you want me to just email Norm if we're not able to do this before then?
Okay, but we're going to get this plea taken care of today.
Okay.
All right, thank you.
Your Honor, may I approach as well?
Yes.
Good afternoon, Your Honor. David Rodriguez, I'm on behalf of Otis Toussaint, who is here. Judge, Mr. Toussaint came in from Virginia, where he lives. He was indicted at large on a felony case where no bond has been set. And we're here to ask for bond to be set, and then also ask if he'd be able to return home as one of the conditions where he lives and works in Virginia.
All right. What is his cause number?
It is 2021 CR 2505.
And what is the charge?
It is, Judge, the charge is an interference with a child custody.
All right. Is there someone from Family Violence able to confer with Mr. Rodriguez?
Judge, sorry to interrupt. Can you send Alice and her client to a breakout room to go over paperwork real quick, please?
All right. Who's her client?
It's for Leslie and Alice.
All right.
Thank
Send
you.
you all to breakout room number 3.
Thank you, Judge.
You're welcome.
And Judge, I believe Joe Ray Garcia was the AD I've been talking to on this case.
Yes, I sent you to breakout room number 1.
All right, thank you.
You're welcome. All right. Where's Mr. Hurd?
Judge, can you send me to 1 as well, please? I logged out, so I'm not a co-host anymore. Thank you.
You're welcome.
It's a program that self-references itself, like whatever you do on it per day, there's a point where you cycle back to it and do a percentage of it, and then do some more of it, and then it references itself again, and you try to beat the numbers start going on that. It is and it isn't. Yeah, it's both.
Who are the parties on Mr. Hurd?
Come to sit already.
All right, as soon as we get a prosecutor, we'll take up your case. Oh, there we are.
Hey, Marcus, what does Bovada have on the line that guy ran outside real quick and chopped that tree down to try to make it look like something happened in his yard so he wouldn't have to go to court, but then it went the wrong way and landed on his house? Does Bovada have the line at minus 250 or what?
I think that's fair.
All right, court is calling 2021 CR 2206, State of Texas versus Darnell Von Hurd. If I can have parties announced for the record, please, for the state,
Marcus Sanders.
for the defense.
Thomas Hillett.
And are you Mr. Hurd?
Yes, Your Honor. Darnell Hurd.
Thank you. We're proceeding by video because of the pandemic. Any objections from the state?
No objection.
Any objections from the defense?
No, Your Honor.
No.
Mr. Hurd, I'm showing you a document entitled Defendant's Consent to Appear by Video. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it? And did you electronically sign it?
Yes, I did.
Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily consented to appear by video. Next, I'm showing you what's entitled Application for Deferred Adjudication or Community Supervision. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it? And did you electronically sign it?
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr.
Yes,
Hilly, I'm showing you what's entitled Discovery Acknowledgement. Have you received all the discovery in this case, and did you review it with your client?
Yes, Your Honor.
Court will find that the state is in compliance with discovery. Mr. Hurd, I'm showing you what's entitled True Bill of Indictment. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it?
yes, Your Honor.
Counsel, do you weigh the reading of the indictment?
Yes.
State, are you proceeding on the indictment as presented?
Yes, Judge, we are.
Mr. Hurd, I'm showing you what's entitled Court's Admonishments and Defendant's Affidavit. Waivers and Affidavit of Admonitions. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it? And did you electronically sign it in all the appropriate places?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you understand what you're charged with? Possession of a controlled substance, penalty group 1 gram to 4 grams. That's a third-degree felony. The range of punishment is anywhere from 2 to 10 years in prison and up to a $10,000 fine. Did you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
If you have a plea bargain agreement with the state, the court does not have to follow your plea bargain agreement. If for any reason the court does not follow your plea bargain agreement and gives you more than you bargained for, the fact that you entered a plea will not be used against you, and you will be allowed to withdraw your plea. Did you understand?
Yes, yes,
Did you understand you have a right to jury trial, right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state would call, and the right to remain silent?
yes,
Did you understand by entering this plea bargain agreement, you were giving up those rights?
yeah, yes,
Did you intend to give up those rights and enter into a plea bargain agreement in this case?
yes,
Did you understand that the court would grant your application for deferred adjudication? If for any reason your deferred adjudication were revoked, the court can find you guilty and sentence you up to 10 years in prison and up to a $10,000 fine.
yes, Your Honor. I'm aware. Yes,
Counsel, has your client been able to provide you with any defenses to this offense?
Yes.
Do you believe he has a rational as well as a factual understanding of the charges against him?
Yes.
Do you believe he's currently competent and was legally sane at the time of the offense?
Yes.
Mr. Hurd, has anyone threatened you, coerced you, or placed you in fear to get you to enter this plea?
not at all.
Has anyone promised you anything other than the plea bargain agreement?
No.
Are you satisfied with the way you've been represented?
Yes, Your Honor.
Are you a U.S. citizen?
Yes, I am.
Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived his right to jury trial. Next, I'm showing you the plea bargain page. Did you review that page with your attorney and did you understand it?
Yes, I did.
According to the plea bargain agreement, punishment is to be assessed at a $1,000 fine. State recommends deferred adjudication. There's restitution of $57 to SAPD for drug testing. Did you understand that to be the plea bargain agreement?
Yes, I did.
Defense is a plea bargain agreement.
Yes.
Mr. Hilly, is that the plea bargain agreement?
Yes.
State, is that the plea
Yes,
bargain
yes.
agreement?
Yes, Judge, it is.
Mr. Hilly, is there a problem with your connection?
I think so, but I can hear you now. I can hear you now.
Or are you trying to multitask?
Excuse me.
There are very few people who can multitask. Next, I'm going to show you what's entitled waiver of appeal paragraph. Did you review that paragraph with your attorney? Did you understand it? And did you electronically sign it in both places?
Yes, I did. Your
Did you
Honor.
understand by signing that you're waiving your right to appeal? The only items that can be appealed are written pretrial motions that have been filed, heard, and ruled upon by the court. Did you understand?
Yes, I did.
Council, have there been any such motions?
No.
Next, I'm showing you outside the plea bargaining agreement. State is requesting that your deferred adjudication be for a term of 2 years. There be a TAP evaluation, 120 hours community service restitution, and regular UAs. Did you understand those are recommendations from the state and the court does not have to follow those recommendations?
Yes, I do, Your Honor.
Right. Then to the offense is charged in the indictment. How do you plead? Guilty, not guilty, or no contest?
Guilty.
State any evidence to support the defendant's plea?
Yes, Judge. The state offers State's Exhibit 1 and its attachments.
Any objections?
No objections. No, Your Honor.
Mr. Hurd, I'm showing you what's entitled waiver and consent to stipulation of testimony and stipulations. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it? And did you electronically sign it in all the appropriate places?
Yes, Your Honor.
Again, did you understand you have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state will call and the right to remain silent?
Yes.
Did you understand that today the state will be presenting evidence in the form of witnesses' statements and police reports and laboratory reports? But most importantly, there will be no live testimony. Did you understand?
Yes.
Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived and consented to stipulation of testimony and stipulations. Court will accept into evidence State's Exhibits 1 and attachments, and the court will review the same. All right, after reviewing State's Exhibits 1 and attachments, the court will find there's sufficient evidence to find you guilty. However, the court will defer finding of guilt as you've applied for deferred adjudication or proceeding with sentencing.
Yes.
Is there anything you wish to say on behalf of your client?
He just lost his job. Please probate all of the fine.
The court reporter can't hear what you're saying. I can't.
He also lives in a hotel.
He also.
Please probate all of the fine. He just lost. He also still lives in a hotel. He moved here from California. That's all.
All right, Mr. Hurd, where are you right now? Because the walls on the photo, on the photos on the wall don't look like they belong to a hotel. Neither is the bedding.
Those are my personal pictures, but this is the roadway inn.
All right, so how did you end up where you come in life? What's going on?
Was married for 30. It's like a long story, Your Honor. I know, but to break it down to you is just married for 30 years. Had a discretion in my marriage that it could no longer go on. Came out here to start another life.
So when did you start using?
When I got out here,
Okay, why is that the first time you ever used hard drugs was when you came here?
so far as the drug that was calling on me, yeah, that was, yeah.
But whatever drugs have you used in the past other than meth?
Weed, marijuana, crack cocaine, whatever. I used to be a garbage pail.
When did you start first using like hard drugs?
Oh, very young, Your Honor, maybe like 16 years old.
All right, so how old are you now?
55.
All right, so where do you see your life going? What do you want to see happen?
Well, I've tried to start this little business of putting, transferring motors onto regular bicycles and selling them like that. I've been doing pretty good with that. But I also have a handyman background, so I can almost do anything.
Okay. So I'm trying to figure out what type of program you need to help, because obvious to me, you need help with your drug issues, right?
Since that day, I mean, I haven't had no more since then, since that day that I went to jail, but I've been in and out of rehabs, Your Honor.
No.
And
But if you're tested for drugs today, what are the results going to be?
I don't know. I probably have some marijuana in my system. I wouldn't lie to you.
And what else?
Probably positive. And that's about it. And some alcohol, but that's it.
And anything else?
That's it.
All right. Where's your family?
In California.
Do you have contact with them?
Yeah, they're just a phone call away.
All right. I'm sure they don't like the fact that you're living the way you're living, right? So you're going to have to do better. I'm going to give you,
a lot better.
yes. I'm going to give you 2 years deferred adjudication. There's $1,000 fine. I'm going to probate it.
Okay.
$57 to San Antonio Police Department
For the testing.
for drug testing.
Okay.
I'm going to refer you to felony drug court. Felony drug court will help you get back on your feet and help you get your life in order. I think you need someone who can speak to you day to day and make sure that you stay clean and sober. They have, I'm sure they'll start you with outpatient treatment, but
Right.
they're going to make you take classes, and hopefully you will get the tools you need so you won't be back here again doing this. You understand?
I understand.
All right, we got to start somewhere. It's never too late to start over, but at some point, you know, you may end up in prison.
Yeah, and I don't want to go there.
Yeah, so I'm going to refer him to felony drug court. They should accept you. If they don't, I want that number one. And if they don't accept him, then we'll come back to court and figure out something else. So felony drug court, 120 hours of community service restitution, regular UAs, Zoom reporting, weekly until accepted in felony drug court. And they'll help you with employment and everything else, and maybe another place for you to stay. So I'm sure they'll still allow you to do whatever you are doing now, since you say you're a handyman and you like working with your hands. I'm sure they'll accept that as employment. But I'm going to say proof of employment within 15 days.
Wow.
No employment with vulnerable persons.
Gotcha.
So that means that you cannot be a home health care provider or work where it requires your supervision of minor children.
Right.
Is there anything else you need from this court to be successful, Mr. Hurd?
Well, not to have to depend on the court to be successful. That's what I want from the court.
Okay, see, you're the first person who said that. I like that. And I think you're going to do excellent work in felony drug court. When you graduate, let me know and I'll come to your graduation.
No problem. I will have your invitation there.
All right, thank you, Mr. Hurd. I'm going to show you what's entitled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Rights to Appeal. Did you review
Okay.
that with your attorney? Did you understand it, and did you electronically sign it?
Yes.
All right, because this is a plea bargain agreement, because I followed your plea bargain agreement, and because you waive your right to appeal, you do not have the court's permission to appeal. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am. I mean,
All right, Mr. Hurd, make sure that you stay in touch with felony drug court. Make sure probation has the correct phone number for you, because they're going to be counting on you to make your appointments with them, okay?
okay.
All right, good luck to you, Mr. Hurd.
Thank you very much, Your Honor, and I appreciate you. And want to apologize to the court that you had to listen to my baggage, but I'm gonna do better. Next time you see me, I'll be a lot better.
Oh, thank you, Mr. Hurd. And Mr. Hurd, let me just tell you, everybody needs somebody to listen to their problems, if they consider them to be problems, or even if you just want somebody to listen to you about your day. You can ask my mom. She's my psychiatrist.
Hello. Yeah,
Yep,
I
I
mean,
call her and talk about everything.
right. I have family out here, but like you say, drugs get in between our relationship, because I'm like the oldest of all, maybe 100 grandkids. So
Wait a minute. Now, see,
Yeah.
now I need to lay on the couch. You saying 100 grandchildren?
yeah.
Like when you say 100, you mean like 100?
Yes, 100.
Well, I tell you what, I don't know
And
who's bringing.
counting. And
Oh my
counting.
gosh. I don't know who's bringing the potato salad to that reunion, but okay.
Everybody got to bring some. It's like everybody got to bring a little bit of this, a little bit of that, a little bit of that, just so everybody can eat. But we manage.
All right. Well, I tell you what, if somebody tries to put raisins in the potato salad, you can just ban them from the reunion.
I will do that.
Okay. All right. I'm going to send you to breakout room number 1. Probation
Okay.
is going to meet you there and go over conditions with you, okay?
Okay. Thank you very much, Your Honor.
All right. Good luck to you. Make sure you stay in contact with probation, okay?
I will do that.
All right. Thank you. Good luck to you.
All right. Thank you. All right.
Thank you.
Mhm.
Thank you. Thank you.
All right.
All right. Other parties, and it should show where you can join
Thank you.
Mr. Hurd. I think it's going slowly going there. Let me see. Yep, he's there. All right. Who are the parties on Julian Jimenez?
Hi, Your Honor. I'm here on that one.
Yep,
Who
we're
is
ready.
saying they are here?
Anthony Rabago.
All right. And who is the prosecutor?
Tom is
Or
judge.
Marcus and Tom, yeah.
I'll do it.
All right. The court is calling 2021 CR 3944, State of Texas versus Julian Jimenez. Can I have the parties announced for the record, please, for the state,
Nisbet.
for the defense?
Anthony Rabago.
All right, Mr. Jimenez, could you unmute for me, please?
Yes,
Are
ma'am.
you, is it Julian or Julian Jimenez?
Either or, Julian or Julian.
All right. All right. Are you Mr. Julian Rene Jimenez?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, we're proceeding by video because of the pandemic. Any objections from the state?
None, Your Honor.
Any objections from the defense?
No, Your Honor.
Mr. Jimenez, I'm showing you what's entitled Defendant's Consent to Appear by Video. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it, and did you electronically sign it?
Yes, ma'am.
Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily consented to appear by video. Mr. Rabago, I'm showing you what's entitled Acknowledgement of Discovery. You received all the discovery in this case, and did you review it with your client?
Yes, Your Honor.
Court will find that the state is in compliance with discovery. Mr. Jimenez, I'm showing you what's entitled True Bill of Indictment. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes, ma'am.
Counsel, do you waive the reading of the indictment?
Yes, Your Honor.
State, are you proceeding on the indictment as presented?
Yes, bro.
Mr. Jimenez, I'm showing you what's entitled Court Admonishments and Defendants Waivers and Affidavit of Admonitions. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it? And did you electronically sign it in all the appropriate places?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand what you're charged with by indictment is felony in possession of a firearm? That's a third-degree felony. The range of punishment is anywhere from 2 to 10 years in prison and up to a $10,000 fine. Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
If you have a plea bargain agreement with the state, the court does not have to follow your plea bargain agreement. If for
Yes,
any
ma'am.
reason the court does not follow your plea bargain agreement and gives you more than you bargained for, the fact that you entered a plea will not be used against you, and you will be allowed to withdraw your plea. Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Off the record for a moment, Ms. Warburton, could you and your client go to breakout room number 2 and to the clerk, if you could go to number 2 to make sure all their paperwork is done.
Thank you, Judge.
Did you understand you have a right to jury trial, right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state would call on the right to remain silent?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand by entering this plea bargain agreement, you were giving up those rights?
Yes, ma'am.
And did you intend to give up those rights and enter into a plea bargain agreement in this case?
Yes, ma'am.
Counsel, has your client been able to provide you with any defenses to this offense?
He has, Your Honor.
Do you believe he has a rational as well as a factual understanding of the charges against him?
Yes.
Do you believe he's currently competent and was legally sane at the time of the offense?
Yes, I believe he's competent and was sane at the time of the offense.
Mr. Jimenez, has anyone threatened you, coerced you, or placed you in fear to get you to enter this plea?
No, ma'am.
Has anyone promised you anything other than the plea bargain agreement to get you to enter this plea?
No, ma'am.
Are you satisfied with the way you've been represented?
Yes, ma'am.
Are you a U.S. citizen?
Yes, ma'am.
Court will find that the defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived his right to jury trial. Next, I'm showing you the plea bargain page. Did you review that page with your attorney and did you understand it?
Yes, ma'am.
According to the plea bargain agreement, punishments be assessed at 3 years in the prison. There are no applications. The state will take in consideration the following grand jury numbers: 746-958, 746-959, 746-960. Did you understand that to be the plea bargain agreement?
Yes, ma'am.
Defense, is that the plea bargain agreement?
It is, Your Honor.
State, is that the plea bargain agreement?
Yes.
Next, I'm showing you the paragraph entitled Waiver of Appeal. Could you review that paragraph with your attorney? Did you understand it? And did you electronically sign it in both places?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand by signing that you're waiving your right to appeal? The only items that can be appealed are written pretrial motions that have been filed, heard, and ruled upon by the court. Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Counsel, have there been any such motions?
No, Your Honor.
Then to the offense as charged in the indictment, Mr. Jimenez, how do you plead? Guilty, not guilty, or no contest?
No contest.
State any evidence support the defendant's no contest plea.
State Officer Exhibit 1 in attachments.
No objection, Your Honor.
Mr. Jimenez, I'm showing you what's entitled Waiver and Consent to Stipulation of Testimony and Stipulations. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it? And did you electronically sign it in all the appropriate places?
Yes, ma'am.
Again, did you understand you have a right to jury trial, right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state will call on the right to remain silent?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand that today the state will be presenting evidence for witnesses' statements, police reports, but most importantly, there will be no live testimony? Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived and consented to stipulation of testimony and stipulations. The court will accept into evidence States Exhibits 1 and attachments and review the same.
Anthony Merchant, 5270. Anthony Merchant, 5270. Loading up officer R. Rodriguez, 6164. Loading up officer R. Rodriguez, 6164.
All right, after reviewing states exhibits 1 and attachments, the court will find there's sufficient evidence to find you guilty, and the court will find you guilty. Are you proceeding with sentencing?
Yes, Your Honor.
Is there anything you wish to say on behalf of your client?
Just that Jimenez has accepted the agreement and he understands how serious these charges are, and he wants to get this sentence done and get back to his family.
Okay. Court will follow your plea bargaining agreement. The court will sentence you to 3 years in the prison, give you credit for any time served. Take in consideration the following grand jury numbers: 746, 958, 746, 959, 746, 960. Is there anything else from either side with regards to sentencing?
No, Your Honor.
No, Your Honor.
Mr. Jimenez, I'm going to show you what's entitled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Rights to Appeal. Did you have a chance to review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it? And did you electronically sign it?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, because it's a plea bargain agreement, because I followed your plea bargain agreement, and because you waived your right to appeal, you do not have the court's permission to appeal. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
And also, because this is a felony conviction, you're not allowed to own or possess any weapons or ammunition. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, Mr. Jimenez, we'll go off the record. Mr. Jimenez, now, how old are you?
26.
All right, Mr. Jimenez, now's the time to decide how you want the rest of your life to go, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, good luck to you, Mr. Jimenez.
Yes, ma'am.
Tommy, can you let them know that 14F can go back?
You have a blessed day. Y'all have a blessed
All
one.
right, you too, thank you.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, who are the parties on Alex Sanchez?
Your Honor.
Is that Bartolome?
Yes, ma'am. Ms. Sanchez is present.
Joe Boy for the child, ready?
All right. Ms. Sanchez, you need to start your video.
Yes, ma'am. I'm right here.
I'm sorry, Mr. Sanchez.
There's
It's
two
okay.
of us, Judge. I'm sorry. I have Alicia and that's the other one. I'm sorry.
I'm Alex
Joe,
Sanchez.
Okay, which Sanchez do you have, Ed?
Miss Sanchez, and I need to talk to Tom if he's the one.
All right, who is Alex Cuellar Sanchez? Who's the
Me.
attorney
That
on
would be
that?
me, Judge.
Okay.
Joe
Sorry,
Bohack for
Joe.
Alex Sanchez, Judge.
All right, and who is the prosecutor on Mr. Sanchez?
Hunter Morris, Judge, for the state.
Okay.
Hunter Morris.
All right, just give me a moment. All right, the court is calling 2000, just give me a moment. Court is calling 2021 CR 2963, State of Texas versus Alex Cuellar Sanchez. Could I have parties announced for the record, please, for the state,
Hunter Morris for the state.
for the defense?
Joe Bohack, ready?
All right, and are you Mr. Sanchez?
Yes, ma'am.
We're proceeding by video because of the pandemic. Any objections from the state?
None from the state, Judge.
Any objections from the defense?
Aye.
No objections.
Mr. Sanchez, I'm showing you what's entitled defendant's consent to appear by video. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it and did you electronically sign it?
Yes, ma'am.
Court will find that the defendant has knowingly and voluntarily consented to appear by video. Next, I'm showing you what's entitled application for community supervision. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it and did you electronically sign it?
Yes, ma'am.
Counsel, I'm showing you the discovery acknowledgement. Have you received all the discovery in this case and did you review it with your client?
Yes, Your Honor.
Court will find that the state is in compliance with discovery. Mr. Sanchez, I'm showing you what's entitled true bill of indictment. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes, ma'am.
Counsel, do you waive the reading of the indictment?
We waive, Your Honor.
State, are you proceeding on the indictment as presented?
Judge, state would waive the repeat state jail offender enhancement.
Any objection?
No objection.
Mr. Sanchez, I'm showing you what's entitled court admonishments. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it? And did you electronically sign it in all the appropriate places?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand what you're charged with as unauthorized use of a vehicle? That's a state jail felony. The range of punishment is anywhere from 180 days up to 2 years in the state jail facility. and up to a $10,000 fine. Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
If you have a plea bargain agreement with the state, the court does not have to follow your plea bargain agreement. If for any reason the court does not follow your plea bargain agreement and gives you more than you bargained for, the fact that you entered a plea will not be used against you, and you will be allowed to withdraw your plea. Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand you have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state would call and right to remain silent?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand by entering this plea bargain agreement, you were giving up those rights?
Yes, ma'am.
And did you intend to give up those rights and enter into a plea bargain agreement in this case?
Yes, ma'am.
Counsel, has your client been able to provide you with any defenses to this offense?
Yes, Your Honor.
Do you believe he has a rational as well as a factual understanding of the charges against him?
I believe he does, Your Honor.
Do you believe he's currently competent and was legally sane at the time of the offense?
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Sanchez, has anyone threatened you, coerced you, or placed you in fear to get you to enter this plea?
No, ma'am.
Has anyone promised you anything other than the plea bargain agreement to get you to enter this plea?
No, ma'am.
Are you satisfied with the way you've been represented?
Yes, ma'am.
Are you a U.S. citizen?
Yes, ma'am.
Court will find that the defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived his right to jury trial. Next, I'm showing you the plea bargain page. Did you review that page with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes, ma'am.
According to the plea bargain agreement, the state is requesting that your punishment be assessed at 2 years in the state jail facility. There's a $1,000 fine. There's no application for deferred adjudication. State recommends community supervision. State will take in consideration cause number 646608. There's to be restitution, if any, to David Guzman, Abraham Alcala, ALCALA, if any, from County Court cause number 646608. Did you understand that to be the plea bargain agreement?
Yes, ma'am.
Defense, is that the plea bargain agreement?
Yes, Your Honor.
State, is that the plea bargain agreement?
It is, Judge.
Next, I'm going to show you the paragraph entitled Waiver Repeal. Did you review that paragraph with your attorney? Did you understand it? And did you electronically sign it in both places?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand by signing that you're waiving your right to appeal? The only items that can be appealed are written pretrial motions that have been filed, heard, and ruled upon by the court. Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Counsel, have there been any such motions?
No motions, Judge.
Next, I'm showing you outside the plea bargain agreement. State is requesting that your community supervision be for a term of 3 years. There be a TAP evaluation, 120 hours of community service restitution, no contact with David Guzman, Abraham Alcala, Enterprise Rental Car Company, and the theft 2 class. Did you understand those were recommendations from the state and the court does not have to follow those recommendations?
Yes, ma'am.
Then to the offense is charged in the indictment. How do you plead? Guilty, not guilty, or no contest?
No contest.
State, any evidence to support the defendant's plea?
State offer states one in attachments, Judge.
Any objections?
No objections.
Mr. Sanchez, I'm showing you what's entitled Waiving Consent to Stipulation of Testimony and Stipulations. Did you have a chance to review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it and did you electronically sign it in all the appropriate places?
Yes, ma'am.
Again, did you understand you have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state would call and the right to remain silent?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand that today the state will be presenting evidence in the form of witnesses' statements and police reports, but most importantly, there will be no live testimony? Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Court will find that the defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived and consented to stipulation of testimony and stipulations. Court will accept into evidence states exhibits 1 and attachments and review the same. All right, after reviewing states exhibits 1 and attachments, the court will find there's sufficient evidence to find you guilty and the court will find you guilty. Are you proceeding with sentencing?
We would waive the PSI, Judge, in accordance with our agreement. We would ask that you follow that agreement.
All right, Mr. Sanchez, who is Jessica Klein?
That was my girlfriend. That's the one that's the one who had the car. I
All right,
was just,
do y'all have any children together?
no,
So is she still your girlfriend or are you
no,
not?
I haven't seen her in over a year and a half.
All right, and who is Esperanza Moreno?
That I don't know.
Okay. So do you have any type of drug issues?
No, ma'am.
All right, if you rent a car, you know you have to return it, right?
Yeah, but I didn't rent the car. It wasn't me. It was my girlfriend. I didn't know that, I didn't even know it was, yeah.
Do
But
you
I
want a
understand.
jury trial?
No, ma'am.
All right, so what I'm telling you is I am reading the police report
Okay.
and there's sufficient evidence in here that you committed this offense of unauthorized use of a vehicle, which Enterprise is saying the car was not returned to them timely.
Okay.
And you're listed as the suspect who didn't return the vehicle timely. She's not listed as the person who didn't return the vehicle timely.
I
It's you.
understand.
All right, so is there something I'm missing?
No, ma'am. I understand. I understand what.
No, I mean defense, is there something I'm missing?
Not that I'm aware of, Judge.
All right, because you're listed as the person who didn't return the vehicle. So there we are. All right, what do you do for a living?
I work at Chapman. I work at a chicken place. I work at Chapman's Chicken.
I've heard of it.
Yes, that's where I work. I'm the cook there.
Well, I guess they've been missing you.
Yes, they have, and I've been needing to go back to work.
Somebody's legs haven't been coming out of the fryer, right?
I
So how far did you go in school?
made it all the way up to 9th grade.
Okay, why didn't you graduate? You know, that's one of my pet peeves, people not graduating.
Yes, I just started working, ma'am. I just went to work. I started working.
So, I mean, but here's the thing. Are you planning on always being a cook at Chapman's? Am I going to go in there and you're going to be like 60 years old and you're still working at Chapman's?
No, ma'am. I plan on doing better in my life. I plan on making better choices and getting things done better. Right now, that's where I'm at right now. And things are going to get better for me once I get them rolling.
Do you have any children?
I have 2 daughters. Yes, ma'am.
What are their ages?
They're 6 and 7.
Oh yeah, you're going to have to do better. Who's taking care of them?
This lady named Miss Mary Flor Ricondo.
All right, how does she end up with your children?
Because she was how do I say, my baby mom when she was cheating on me with this other dude, where they're with his mom, but that dude passed away. And ever since, me and that lady have a good contact. So we
Is Child Protective Services involved to help children?
Yes.
Okay, so now I know what's happened.
Yes.
So Child Protective Services got involved.
Yes.
And Joe Bohack does a lot of CPS cases. So what that means is that you didn't do what you were supposed to do, and the mother of the children didn't do what they were supposed to do. So now the children are placed with someone else other than you or the mom.
Yes.
So why was Child Protective Services brought into your life?
Because whenever me and my baby's mother, when we broke up,
Let's just call her the mother of your children.
The mother of my children, whenever we broke up, she gave them to her. Instead of giving them to me, like, here, take the kids, I can't, take care of them or anything. I just told her why, but.
That doesn't explain why CPS got involved. Is there drugs involved?
Yeah, from her side, yeah. From her, yeah, there's drugs involved.
Okay, what drugs was she using?
I believe it was meth.
All right, this is what I find out. In my short time on the planet, although I consider it a long time on the planet, I find that when people go to the barbershop, at some point in time, they're going to get a haircut.
Yes, ma'am.
What that means? That means when people are hanging around with people who are doing ice, who are doing meth, who are doing marijuana, at some point in time, you're going to try marijuana, ice, or meth, or whatever.
Yes,
So
ma'am.
when's the first time you ever tried ice, marijuana, or meth?
I did marijuana when I was like 13.
All right, and then the harder drugs, when did you try them?
Actually, when I was like 20.
And what drugs were you trying when you were with the mother of your children?
Oh, just weed. I did weed and ice.
All right, because I need you to be honest with me, right?
Yes, it's just weed and ice. That's it.
All right, because I'm trying to get you to be on a place where you can be a better parent to your children if you ever get back in their lives.
Yes, ma'am.
And if you have more children, you're a better father to them. All right?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
All right. So it's going to be 2 years in the prison, suspended and probated for 3 years, $1,000 fine, probated, take in consideration 646608, no contact with Jessica Klein, Klein,
Yes, ma'am.
Esperanza Moreno, restitution to David Guzman and Abraham Akala, if any. No contact with also David Guzman, Abraham Akala, Enterprise Rental Company. So if you ever want to rent a car again, it needs to be somebody other than Enterprise.
Okay.
Theft 2 course. Refer to felony drug court. And I'm going to trust you to make all your appointments with felony drug court while you're out of custody. Do you understand? You can't miss those appointments. If you do, it's going to be a violation of your probation. You're going to find yourself back at the Bexar County Jail.
Yes, ma'am.
And you're going to be asking me for mercy. You understand?
Yes, ma'am.
So referral to felony drug court. Are you able to Zoom? Do you have a cell phone?
I will when I get out. I will have a cell phone.
All right, we'll do regular Zoom or in-person reporting.
Okay.
I'm going to want random field visits 2 times per month. And UA hotline until he's accepted into felony drug court. If not accepted into felony drug court, then outpatient treatment with probation. Rebecca, does he need anything else?
Judge, were you going to order the community service hours?
I'll do 120 hours of community service, or you can obtain your GED or in some sort of trade school.
Okay.
All right, is there anything else that he needs, Rebecca?
No, ma'am.
Mr. Sanchez, is there anything else you need from the court in order to be successful?
No, ma'am.
All right, I'm going to show you a document entitled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Rights to Appeal. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it? And did you electronically sign it?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, because this is a plea bargain agreement, because I followed your plea bargain, because you waived your right to appeal, you do not have the court's permission to appeal. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
And also, because this is a felony conviction, you're not allowed to own or possess any weapons or ammunition. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, I'm going to send you to a breakout room. And Rebecca, if it's only you here, I have another case that's also for probation.
Judge, real quick.
Kevin's still here.
Yes, Mr. Morris.
2 things. I just wanted to make sure we got the restitution of no contact for the Alcala, the County Court 6 case. Or
yes, I said restitution to Abraham Akala.
Perfect. And then for clarification, this court waived the state jail repeater, correct?
Yes.
Okay, so it would be, the underlying would be 2 years in a state jail facility.
Yes.
Okay, great. Instead of prison.
Yes.
Perfect. Thank you, Judge.
You're welcome.
He has, Judge, an active warrant out of County Court number 8. Is this court able to withdraw that or
go
to County Court 8?
County Court 8 would have to withdraw that. Mr. Bohack, if you can email County Court 8 if they don't have any objections to the court doing it. Of course, I don't mind doing it. But it probably would be best to talk to the judge in county court number 8. I don't like to step on anybody else's toes or make county court think that they are less than district court.
I'll get in touch with them right now, Judge.
All right, I'm gonna send you to breakout room number 1, Mr. Sanchez.
Okay,
And Mr. Bohack, I'll send you to 1. You can stay there or either you can excuse yourself.
Well, okay, thank you, Judge.
All right, and then,
Ms. Zavala?
all right, so Mr. Sanchez, if you can go to breakout room number 1.
okay. How do I go? How do I do that?
If you look at the bottom of your screen, it should be boxes that say breakout room. Do you see that?
Breakout room, yes. I press it, breakout room?
Yes, you go to the breakout room.
Okay, find breakout room?
Yes. All right, and then Andrew Del Puerto, I'll do this one plea and then I'll take up your matter. Please, Leslie Whitetrack.
Judge.
Yes, ma'am.
Whoever is like in the wind or whatever you're doing, if you could please work on that.
Sorry to interrupt. Ms. Zavala, can you please go to room number 3, breakout room number 3?
All right. Court is calling 2021 CR 1175, State of Texas versus Leslie James. Whitetrack, is that how you pronounce your last name?
It's Viatric. It's Polish.
Beatrice. Well, you know what? I'm going to call my teacher from elementary school because they told me when 2 vowels go walking, the first one does the talking. But for you, the W's not talking, the A's not talking,
No,
W
not
is
at
a
all.
V. All right. Are you okay with me calling you Leslie?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Thank you. No disrespect, but yeah, it's going to take me a while to remember your last name.
It's all right.
All right. Can I have parties announced for the record for the state,
Marcus Sanders.
for the
Alice
defense?
Alice Warburton for the defendant, Leslie Viatric.
All right, Leslie, we're proceeding by video because of the pandemic. Any objections from the state or the defense?
No objection.
No objection from the defense.
All right, Leslie, I'm going to show you what's entitled defendant's consent to appear by video. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it and did you electronically sign it?
Yes, ma'am.
Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily consented to appear by video. Next, I'm showing you what's entitled application for deferred adjudication or community supervision. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it and did you electronically sign it?
Yes, ma'am.
Counsel, I'm showing you the discovery acknowledgement. Have you received all the discovery in this case and did you review it with your client?
To the best
Yes,
of my
ma'am.
knowledge, I have received all of the discovery available in this case, and I have had I have reviewed it and had the opportunity to go over it with my client.
Court will find that the state is in compliance with discovery. Leslie, I'm showing you what's entitled true bill of indictment. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes, ma'am.
Counsel, do you waive the reading of the indictment?
I do waive it, Judge.
State, are you proceeding on the indictment as presented?
No, Judge. We're proceeding on count 2, waiving count 1 and 3.
Any objections?
No objection from the defense.
All right, Leslie, I'm going to show you what's entitled court's admonishments and defendants waivers and affidavit of admonitions. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it? And did you electronically sign it in all the appropriate places?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, the state is proceeding on count 2. That's possession with intent to deliver controlled substance. Penalty group 1 gram to 4 grams. That's a 3rd degree felony. The range, I'm sorry, that's not a 3rd degree felony. 2nd degree, correct?
Yes.
Yes, Judge.
Okay. Does anyone have any objections to me changing that where it says 2nd degree instead of 3rd degree?
No objection. Thank you, Judge.
No objection, Judge.
All right. That's a 2nd degree felony. The range of punishment is anywhere from 2 to 20 years in prison and up to $10,000 fine. Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
If you have a plea bargain agreement with the state, the court does not have to follow your plea bargain agreement. If for any reason the court does not follow your plea bargain agreement and gives you more than you bargained for, the fact that you entered a plea will not be used against you, and you will be allowed to withdraw your plea. Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand you have a right to jury trial, right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state will call and the right to remain silent?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand by entering this plea bargain agreement, you were giving up those rights?
Yes, ma'am.
And did you intend to give up those rights and enter into a plea bargain agreement in this case?
I'm sorry. What
Did you intend
was
to
that?
give up
Yeah.
those? Did you intend to give up those rights and enter into a plea bargain agreement in this case?
Yes. Yes, ma'am.
All right. Did you understand that the court would grant your application for deferred adjudication? If for any reason your deferred adjudication were revoked, court could find you guilty and sentence you up to 20 years in prison. Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Counsel, has your client been able to provide you with any defenses to this offense?
He has, Judge.
Do you believe he has a rational as well as a factual understanding of the charges against him?
I believe that he does, yes, Judge.
Do you believe he's currently competent and was legally sane at the time of the offense?
I believe that he is competent and was legally sane at the time of the offense, Judge.
All right, Leslie, has anyone threatened you, coerced you, or placed you in fear to get you to enter this plea?
No, ma'am.
Has anyone promised you anything other than the plea bargain agreement to get you to enter this plea?
No, ma'am.
Are you satisfied with the way you've been represented?
Yes. Yes,
Are
ma'am.
you a U.S. citizen?
Yes, ma'am.
Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived his right to jury trial. Next, I'm showing you the plea bargain page. Did you review that with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes, ma'am.
According to the plea bargain agreement, state is proceeding on count 2. There's a $1,000 fine. State recommends deferred adjudication. State will take in consideration NIMAG number 542382. And there's $57 to San Antonio Police Department for drug testing. Did you understand that to be the plea bargain agreement?
Yes, ma'am.
Defense is that the plea bargain agreement?
That is, Your Honor.
State is that the plea bargain agreement?
Yes, Judge.
Next, I'm going to show you the paragraph entitled Waiver of Appeal. Did you review that paragraph with your attorney? Did you understand it? And did you electronically sign it in both places?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand by signing that you're waiving your right to appeal? The only items that can be appealed are written pretrial motions that have been filed, heard, and ruled upon by the court. Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Counselor, have there been any such motions?
No, Judge.
Next, I'm showing you outside the plea bargain agreement. State is requesting that your deferred adjudication be for a term of 4 years. There'll be a TAP evaluation, 150 hours community service restitution in the DOEP course. Did you understand those are recommendations from the state and the court does not have to follow those recommendations?
Yes, ma'am.
Then to the offenses charged in count 2, how do you plead? Guilty, not guilty, or no contest?
No contest.
State, any evidence to support the defendant's no contest plea?
Yes, the state offers States Exhibit 1 and its attachments.
Any objections?
No objection, Your Honor.
Leslie, I'm showing you what's entitled Waiver and Consent to Stipulation of Testimony and Stipulations. Did you have a chance to review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it and did you electronically sign it in all the appropriate places?
Yes, ma'am.
Again, did you understand you have a right to jury trial, right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state will call in the right to remain silent?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand that today the state will be presenting evidence in the form of witnesses' statements and police reports and lab reports? But most importantly, there will be no live testimony. Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived and consented to stipulation of testimony and stipulations. Court will accept into evidence States Exhibits 1 and attachments, and the court will review the same. All right, after reviewing states exhibits 1 and attachments, the court will find there sufficient evidence to find you guilty. However, the court will defer finding of guilt as you've applied for deferred adjudication. Are you proceeding with sentencing?
We are, Judge.
Is there anything you wish to say on behalf of your client?
No, Your Honor.
All right, Leslie, is there anything you wish to say?
I would like to say I was very sorry for y'all having to deal with my bad conduct and poor choices in life. And I just want to say I'm sorry.
All right. I appreciate your apology, but you know, sometimes the apology that they need to be made to maybe family members or friends, you know, sort of like acknowledging what you've done wrong and telling them it's not going to happen again, right?
Yes, ma'am.
So where do you work?
S&D Hood and Vent Cleaning Services. We clean like Sonic's grills, the grease traps. We do hotels. We go out of town.
Okay. So how far did you go in school?
I grabbed high school. I got my diploma.
All right. So what are you planning on doing with the rest of your life?
Going to college and finishing. I want to be a male nurse.
Want to be what?
I've been around the health field. A male nurse.
All right. So this
like
is
an RN.
far be it from me to crush anyone's dreams. And your attorney will probably give you more advice about this. But any profession that requires a license requires a background check. You still may be able to do it and get your license, but you just made it harder on yourself by this offense. Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Do you have any children?
Yes, ma'am.
What are their ages?
He's about to be 1 year old.
Live with you?
No, he's with his mom and grandma. She lives with her mom.
All right. You know, when you're on probation, part of your conditions is that you support dependents.
Oh, always. I'll
Okay.
do anything for your son.
All right. And if you're tested today, what are the results going to be?
I'm pass. What do you mean? Test like what?
For drugs.
Like test? No, I'll pass. I'm good.
Oh, okay. All right. There's going to be $1,000 fine. It'll be probated. Take in consideration night mag number 542382. $57 restitution to San Antonio Police Department for drug testing. 150 hours of community service restitution, or if you obtain your college degree, that'll be waived, or if you complete a trade school, or if you want to pay $7.25 per hour to the San Antonio Food Bank, you can.
Yes, ma'am.
There's going to be random UAs, or you can do the patch. So either one. Patch helps with any type of time constraints you have, but the patch costs more. The DOEP course, regular Zoom reporting or in person, parenting classes, random field visits, 2 times per month, proof of employment within 30 days, no employment with vulnerable people. What that means is you cannot be a home health care provider or supervise minors. Now, if you end up going to get your nurse's license, I know sometimes they want you to do certain things. Your attorney can always come back and I'll reconsider, but for now, there's to be no employment in those fields. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, next I'm going to show you what's entitled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Rights to Appeal. Did you review that with your attorney? Did you understand it? And did you electronically sign it?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, because this is a plea bargaining agreement, because I followed your plea bargaining agreement, because you waived your rights to appeal, you do not have the court's permission to appeal. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, Leslie, good luck to you. Hopefully the next time you come back to me, it will be because you are asking to get off of probation early. And by that time, I promise you, I will know how to pronounce your name.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you very
Sure.
much.
All right, I'm going to send you all to breakout room number 3. Ms. Warburton, you can go to number 3 or either you excuse. Thanks for your patience.
Thank you, everyone.
You're welcome.
Judge, I just want to make sure that that was on the evading arrest and detention case, right?
Which case?
This gentleman that we just did, that was on the evading arrest, the 1175 case?
No, the 1175 case is a possession case.
According to MOCA, 2021 CR 1175 is evading arrest.
Ma'am.
Kevin, it's 'cause
Alrighty.
there's multiple counts.
Who is it?
Yes, he went on count 2.
So
So
count
let
2
me
was
just
a
look just
drug
one
case.
second.
That's what threw me off.
Count
I'm
1
sorry.
is the evading and count 2 is the possession.
Okay, so same cause number, but it's possession PG 1 to 4
Yes, with intent to deliver.
with intent.
Yes.
Okay.
All right,
Thank you.
thank you. You're welcome. Everyone, just give me one moment, please.
Tom. We're gonna ask.
Yes,
We're gonna ask.
I text you and I messaged you.
Okay, we're gonna come in on Friday. I believe to resolve the case either way. I want to let the court know, and then I'll talk to her tonight in depth and give her the rundown and explain everything to her again.
Okay.
All right.
All right, sounds good.
Thank you. By the way, do you think Torres versus Madrid's going to apply in the Guadalupe Cantu case?
Man, I've been moved like 2 or 3 courts since then.
I know, but I was referring to the opinion. The reaching out and touching. Was he under arrest? Anyway, it's an interesting case. Have you read it yet?
I have not.
Well, you'll enjoy it. They shoot at her and they believe that she's detained and should have been on the Fourth Amendment purposes. The Supreme Court, going back to the English. Case you never heard of, the Countess of Rutherford case. It's an interesting case. Anyway, all right, I'll tell the judge and we'll go from there. Thank you. Your Honor.
All right, is there anyone who's ready?
Your Honor, I conferred with the state, with my client. They've made 2 offers, Your Honor, and I'd like to recall it for Friday so I can review the alternatives with her, Judge, in a little more
All right,
depth.
who's your client?
Ms. Zavala, Your Honor, she came in.
Spell the last name?
Zavala, Zavala. She's U705AA, Your Honor.
What is the cause number?
That, Judge, I don't have at my fingertips, but I can get it quickly. Just a second.
Just give me a moment.
Ma'am. I have it, Your Honor. Nightmag 57. Nightmag 573758.
All right, Ed, your client, she's charged with possession, penalty group 1.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, so that's 2021 CR 2982B. And
Okay.
you want to recall it for Friday?
Yes, ma'am. 2021 CR 283.
All right, just give me one moment.
All right.
All right, we will, Annette Zavala, is she in the courtroom or on Zoom?
She's on Zoom, Your Honor.
All right, we'll recall it for Friday. Norma, can you put Annette Zavala for Friday?
Is she on the docket today, Doug? I'm sorry.
Yes, she's on page 10.
Thank you.
All right, Ms. Zavala, we're going to see you on Friday at 9 a.m.
Thank you, Your Honor. May Ms. Zavala and I be excused, Judge.
Yes.
Thank the court for their consideration. Thank you, Ms. Zavala. I'll call tonight. Thank you, Judge.
You're welcome.
We can leave.
All right, and excuse me, Mr. Toussaint?
Yes, Your Honor.
Norma, what page is Mr. Toussaint on?
Judge, that was off docket. That's off docket.
All right. Mr. Toussaint, just give me 1 moment.
Yes, Your Honor.
Nifa Carrillo?
That's off docket as well, Judge.
All right, just give me 1 moment. Okay, what are you here for, I'm sorry, Mr. Rodriguez? What is your client's cause number?
Judge, the cause number is 2021 CR 2505.
All right, and Nifa, what is your cause number? Oh, you're muted?
Your Honor, I have a SID number.
Okay, what's the SID number?
The SID number is 879-730.
Wait, I can't hear you. What did you say?
879-730.
And what's the client's name?
Rudolph Gonzalez.
All right, since this is off docket, let me talk to the clerks to have them get this. Just 1 moment.
Yes, Your Honor.
Hey, Robert, can you check if you're missing any paperwork for Ralph Campos?
Buenas tardes, Melvin. Hey, beautiful, ¿cómo estás? Go ahead. Oh, 194. Garcia.
All right, the clerk is grabbing the off docket matters. And then we will take up from there. Thank you. All right, on Otis Earl Toussaint, what are you requesting, Mr. Rodriguez?
Yes, Judge, we're requesting that a bond amount be set in this case. And I guess we're also requesting as regarding the bond conditions, Mr. Toussaint, he's here from Virginia. That's where he resides and where he works. This case was it was filed at large. and he was indicted. He found out about it when he was arrested going into work at the Pentagon, and we're wanting to have him turn himself in. It's my understanding there's no bond set, Judge, and so we're asking for the court to set a bond, and then as a condition, allow him to return to Virginia.
All right, do you want to, have you had a chance to confer with the state on bond amount?
Yes, Your Honor.
No, have you all conferred or no?
Yes.
All right, so is there an agreement to a bond amount or no?
Judge, the bond amount requested was 10,000. I mean,
Well, okay, what I'm trying to find out is who's requesting the bond amount? And is there an agreement with the request? State, are you requesting a bond for $10,000?
Yes, Judge, this is a post indictment. He hasn't been magistrated or processed yet. I believe once he will receive a bond amount. I told him if the court grants a request, we would request one now in the amount of 10,000, but there wasn't an agreement to it.
Just 1 second. All right, here's the thing. When people have not been booked at all, they're going to require for him to be booked. He's going to have to come to be booked. You understand?
yes, Judge.
All right. So the state is requesting a bond for $10,000. Defense, what are you asking for?
Your Honor, whatever the court believes is a reasonable amount for the case.
Well, I mean, it's hard for me to tell what's reasonable in this case because I don't know anything about the case. So is this a custody? Does anybody know? Anybody can give me some sort of information on
Judge,
this?
yes, Judge. And so this is it's a child custody interference case that, so this case has been in litigation on the civil side for since 2018 or sometime before that. It's bounced around between Texas and Tennessee, and it also involves a Missouri court order. And so the case is still in litigation. There's been judicial conferences on the other side. We've been trying to figure everything out. And this criminal case has arisen out of it. And even the indictment itself, it charges him with violating 2 separate court orders when we know that, only one order could be controlling at the time. So no one really knows. Judges and the civil side have had difficult deciding what's the controlling order, and we're still trying to iron that out, Judge. And so we're trying to address this this child custody interference case that was filed.
All right, is there going to be a question of no contact orders? What are you guys asking for? Just a bond? With nothing else?
Yes, Judge, and for now, yes.
All right, defense, do you want a hearing on this bond issue?
As do you mean outside of this, as far as on the amount
Yes.
or on the conditions, Judge?
Yes. Are you okay? Are you agreeing to this amount that the state is requesting? Because I don't have enough information if you want me to go under $10,000. I know nothing of this case. The only thing I have before me is an indictment. That's it.
I
Nobody's
guess,
asking for a no contact order. I don't know if anybody's in any danger. I don't know, how old is Omar Toussaint? All I know is that it's a child younger than 18 years old. It's 17, it's 16. I don't know. So nobody's giving me enough information to make a decision on what's a good bond amount or an appropriate bond amount. I don't even know when it says that he violated a custody agreement. I don't know if he violated the custody agreement, if he's alleged to have taken the child to San Antonio, take the child to Hawaii, took the child to a foreign country. I don't know anything. All I know is there is supposedly some, based upon the indictment, there's some custody agreement that was entered in Cole County, Missouri. And then there's something in the Court of Appeals of Tennessee at Nashville. That's not telling me anything. So let's do this. If you all want to come back on Friday and people can present whatever evidence they want to present to me, and I will make an informed decision.
Judge, can I confer with my client, please, for 1 moment first?
Sure. I'll see you to breakout room number 1.
Thank you, Judge.
You're welcome. And Kathy Starling, I'm just waiting. Has your client been sworn in?
No, he hasn't, Your Honor, and I wanted to go in the room when he was sworn in because me and the prosecutor talked about crossing something out in the plea paperwork, and I just, like,
All
we
right,
can't
I'm
do that
sending you
over
to
Zoom.
breakout room number 2. If you and your client will go to breakout room number 2.
Thank
Mr.
you.
Campos, go to breakout room number 2. And Ms. Carrillo, I'm waiting to get the information on your client. Just give me a moment.
Yes, Your Honor, thank you.
All right, and Norma, do you have any updates on Leslie Sagwanich client? What happened with Mr. Joshua Herrera?
He's in the courtroom, Judge.
Okay. And
Judge,
then
and I'm back on the.
all right, just one moment. And what about Charles Lee Jones with Russell Mitchell?
I left Mr. Mitchell a message, and I also texted him, but he has not responded.
All right, and then Mark Anthony Marino.
Mark Anthony Marino, where is he at? What page is that on, Judge?
It is on page 10.
I missed that one.
It's with Trisha.
Oh, he said, Trish said she left to presiding. If we can recall that case. I don't know if she's on Zoom still.
All right, Mr. Toussaint.
Yes, Judge, I've talked to my client. We're willing to agree to the $10,000 bond at this time.
All right, if you all will send that to me in an email, that's your agreement, then I will make sure it's entered into the system.
All right, thank you, Judge. May we be excused?
Yes, but make sure you email that agreement with Mr. Garcia.
Okay, thank you, Judge.
You're welcome. And I know what's on the phone. Nifa, on your case, what are you asking for?
Well, Your Honor, really, we have I want my client to comply. It's still a night mag. We had filed an affidavit that he did not have a car at the moment. And so he's gonna get a new monitor and it's gonna get a scram device. He got an email from the monitoring officer, Jasmine Lanier, saying that Your Honor, asked for my client to provide the police report verifying the vehicle he was driving at the time of the alleged offense.
Yes, that's what they're asking for, so they can make sure that he won't be driving that vehicle.
Okay, well, the problem is that I don't have a police report because the discovery is so much of it. This involved this accident with the on Highway 90 a couple
Right,
months back.
just 1 second. Hunter, are you able to get the police report as far as what type of vehicle her client was driving?
Yes, Judge. It was a 2004 Ford Expedition, red Ford Expedition.
That's his car, yeah.
All right, and do you have a VIN number or something, or if that's something you could send to Miss Carrillo?
Let me see. I do have a license plate number.
Okay, awesome.
And because of that, Your Honor, she wants a police report, so I can't send her a police report. I mean, I can send her the data.
Oh, just send her the data and make sure it's from you, and then I think they'll accept that.
Okay, and let's see. Yes, he set up for a monitor to be installed. The scram, Your Honor, got a date for that. I just want him to get into any problems or non-compliance on the report, police report.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate you coming in.
Yeah, there was so much of it. It's that they're gonna have to. I can't download it on the e-discovery.
Okay. All right. Who's here on? Yes, Hunter.
I'm just letting you know. I sent Miss Ninfa the information on the Zoom chat, so she has the license plate and the make and model.
Well, I appreciate it. Thank you so much.
All right, and if you can get that to pretrial services, Ms. Carrillo, and just let them know that the court has said it is okay that they just have that.
Okay, that's my next question I was gonna ask.
Yes.
And you have your permission to say that?
Yes, you do.
Okay. All righty. I appreciate it, Judge. Thank you.
All right, thank you. Have a good rest of your day.
Thank you. Thank
All
you,
right.
Hunter.
Who is the party on Campos?
That's going to be my case, Your Honor.
All right, and Trisha, who is your client?
I've got Mark Moreno.
All right, has it been done?
No, so at this point, the offer has changed slightly, so I need to reiterate that back to my client. I was assigned out to Judge Gabriel right after I had brought that up to the court the last time, and so I am on a 10-minute break. So I don't think I'm going to be able to do that at this point. So I came in to ask the court, what do you want me to do?
Oh, where's your client?
I know he had a doctor's appointment at 2:45. I don't know what it's for, how long it was. He did come back on Zoom rather than being in person. I can try to call him and have him log back on if he's done with his appointment.
Okay, awesome. All right, the court is calling 2020 CR 3586, State of Texas versus Ralph Compost Jr. Can I have party announced for the record for the state,
Marcus Sanders.
for the defense?
Kathy Starling for the defense, Your Honor. And Your Honor, I asked the clerk to make changes I would have made and that I discussed with Marcus on the plea paperwork. And so I just wanted to bring that to the court's attention.
All right. And are you Mr. Campos? I need you to unmute, please. All right, we're proceeding by video because of the pandemic. Any objections from the state?
No objection.
Any objections from the defense?
No, Your Honor.
Mr. Campos, I'm showing you a document entitled Defendant's Consent to Appear by Video. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it, and did you electronically sign it?
Yes, Your Honor, I did.
Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily consented to appear by video. Next, I'm showing you what's entitled Application for Community Supervision. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it, and did you electronically sign it?
Yes, Your Honor, I did.
Counsel, I'm showing you the discovery acknowledgement. Have you received all the discovery in this case, and did you review it with your client?
I have, Your Honor.
Court will find that the state is in compliance with discovery. Mr. Campos, I'm showing you what's entitled True Bill of Indictment. Did you review that document with your attorney, and did you understand it?
Yes, Your Honor, I did.
Counsel, do you waive the reading of the indictment?
Yes, Your Honor, we do.
State, are you proceeding on the indictment as presented?
Yes, Judge, we are.
Mr. Campos, I'm showing you what's entitled Court Admonishments and Defendant's Waivers and Affidavit of Admonitions. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it, and did you electronically sign it in all the appropriate places?
Yes, I did, Your Honor.
Did you understand what you're charged with is felon in possession of a firearm? That's third-degree felony. The range of punishment is anywhere from 2 to 10 years in prison and up to a $10,000 fine. Did you understand?
Yes, Your Honor, I understand.
If you have a plea bargain agreement with the state, the court does not have to follow your plea bargain agreement. If for any reason the court does not follow your plea bargain agreement and gives you more than you bargained for, the fact that you entered into a plea will not be used against you, and you will be allowed to withdraw your plea. Did you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you understand you have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state would call on, the right to remain silent?
Yes, Your Honor, I do.
Did you understand by entering this plea bargain agreement, you were giving up those rights?
Yes, Your Honor.
And did you intend to give up those rights and enter into a plea bargain agreement in this case?
Yes, I do.
Counsel, has your client been able to provide you with any defenses to this offense?
Yes, he has,
Do
Your
you
Honor.
believe he has a rational as well as a factual understanding of the charges against him?
I do.
Do you believe he's currently competent and was legally sane at the time of the offense?
I believe he's competent and sane, Your Honor, yes.
Mr. Campos, has anyone threatened you, coerced you, or placed you in fear to get you to enter this plea?
No, Your Honor.
Has anyone promised you anything other than the plea bargain agreement to get you to enter this plea?
No, Your Honor.
Are you satisfied with the way you've been represented?
Yes, ma'am.
Are you a U.S. citizen?
Yes, Your Honor.
Court will find that the defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived his right to jury trial. Next, I'm showing you the plea bargain page. Did you review that page with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes, Your Honor.
According to the plea bargain agreement, punishment is to be assessed at 5 years in the prison. There's a $1,000 fine. There's no application for deferred adjudication. State recommends community supervision. Did you understand that to be the plea bargain agreement?
Yes, Your Honor.
State, is that the plea bargain agreement?
Yes, Judge.
Defense, is that the plea bargain agreement?
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Campos, I'm showing you the paragraph entitled Waiver of Appeal. Did you review that paragraph with your attorney? Did you understand it, and did you electronically sign it in both places?
Yes, Your Honor, I did.
Did you understand by signing that you're waiving your right to appeal? The only items that can be appealed are written pretrial motions that have been filed, heard, and ruled upon by the court. Did you understand?
Yes, Your Honor, I do understand.
Counsel, have there been any such motions?
We don't have any preserved for appeal, Your Honor.
Next, I'm showing you outside the plea bargaining agreement. The state is requesting that your community supervision be for a term of 5 years. There be a TAP evaluation, 100 hours of community service restitution, the APSC course, the BIPP, and no contact with Valerie Hormio or Gregoria Luna. Did you understand that to be the plea bargaining agreement? I'm sorry, did you understand that that was outside the plea bargaining agreement? Those are recommendations from the state, and the court does not have to follow those recommendations.
Yes, Your Honor, I understand.
Then to the
Honor?
offense, yes.
I'm sorry, if I may say something on that as well, Your Honor. There is a child involved between the two, Mr. Campos and the woman, and we would ask that the court order that communication only be as court ordered by the family law judge, just because there might be exchanges or the court might require the child to call his mother, and therefore Mr. Campos has primary custody, but we don't want Mr. Campos violating his probation by following another court order.
Okay, do you understand that these are recommendations from the state and the court does not have to follow those recommendations?
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Campos, did you understand
Yes,
that?
Your Honor. Yes, Your Honor.
To
I
the
understand.
offense as charged in the indictment, how do you plead? Guilty, not guilty, or no contest?
No contest, Your Honor.
State any evidence to support the defendant's plea?
Yes, the state offers State's Exhibit 1 and its attachments.
No
Any
objection.
objections?
No, Your Honor.
Mr. Campos, I'm showing you what's entitled waiving consent to stipulation of testimony and stipulations. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it? And did you electronically sign it in all the? All right. There's a problem with this paperwork. There's a line through this entire paragraph, which means there's nothing here.
Yes, Your Honor. I asked the clerk to remove the judicial confession because since he is
Well,
pleading
they
no
removed the entire paragraph, so that needs to be redone. The line is through the entire paragraph.
it's asking him to confess to that entire
The
paragraph.
line is through the entire paragraph, which means that that paragraph, you all are saying it does not exist and you do not want the court to consider it. If you're asking that he's pleading no contest, then it would not say judicially confess. It would say, I do not contest, but there should not be a line through the entire paragraph, because that means that that entire paragraph, you are asking us that it did not exist. So
I apologize, Your Honor. It was my understanding that was how
no,
it was done.
So that paperwork needs to be done. That page. And this should not be scratched out. This should say that it is not contested. So this is incorrect. So if you all would like to go back to a breakout room and discuss it, and if you would like to discuss it with the prosecutor, I'll allow you guys to do that.
And Your Honor, is it, just so I understand, since I can't physically modify anything on my end when I get the paperwork, is it how the prosecutor types it up, or is it when it gets to the court, we tell them where to cross and what to write?
Yeah, I'll send you all to breakout room number 3, and they'll go over that with you, Ms. Starling.
Thank you.
You're welcome. And so Marcus, if you could go to breakout room number 3, and Mr. Campos, if you could go to 3, please.
Thank you, Judge.
You're welcome. Mr. Orta? You're muted, Mr. Orta.
No, I had talked to you earlier on 2 motions to set bonds.
Okay, what are the cause numbers?
It's 2020 CR 12348 This one is on a Chris.
No, no, no,
Robert.
no, no. First of all, I need the cause number so that the clerk can pull the file because it's off docket. So-
Okay, it's 2020 CR
Mhm.
12348.
All right, and then the other,
It's a night mag. It's let me see. It's 581278. No, what 581279.
all right, are these criminal trial division cases?
Yes.
All right, is there anyone able to confer with Mr. Orch on these two cases?
I can talk to the judge.
All right, I'm gonna send you to breakout room number 2, Mr. Orcha. Hunter will meet you there.
Thank you, Judge.
You're welcome.
Thank you, Judge.
All right, Ms. Starling, would you like to have your client come back to the main room? Where is your client?
He might still be in that other room. I'll go back.
All right,
and
Mr.
find
Campos,
him.
are you there?
I don't see him in a room.
Okay, I see him now on the screen. Mr. Campos, you need to start your video.
Yes, ma'am, I'm there.
All right, we're back on the record in cause number 2020 CR 3586. The defendant entered a plea of no contest. State, do you have any evidence to offer in support of the defendant's plea?
I do, Judge, but I believe defense wanted to make a request of the court. But the state will offer State's Exhibit 1 and its attachment.
All right, any objections to State's Exhibits 1 and attachments, Ms. Starling?
No, Your Honor.
Were there some changes you want to make to the paperwork?
Yes, Your Honor. On the judicial confession, I would request that the court change the language to say that Mr. Campos does not contest the allegations.
Any objection?
No objection.
Yes, Ms. Starling?
And also at the bottom where it states that I, as the attorney, and Mr. Campos state that the allegations are true, that the court would modify that language to state we do not contest those allegations.
All right, any objections?
No objection.
All right, are there then any objections? For the record, the state has changed the following to the document. The court has changed, do hereby judicially confess and admit to does not contest. And where it states allegations are true and correct, the court has changed it to not contested. Was there any objections from either party to the state changing the language?
None from the state.
None from the defense.
All right, then the state has offered State's Exhibits 1 and attachments. Is there any objections to that form as presented, Ms. Starling?
No, Your Honor.
Mr. Campos, I'm showing you what's entitled waiver and consent to stipulation of testimony and stipulations. Did you have a chance to review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it and did you electronically sign it in all the appropriate places?
Yes, Your Honor, I did understand it.
All right, and Mr. Campos, you need to remove your shades. Again, did you understand you have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state would call and the right to remain silent?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you understand that today the state will be presenting evidence in the form of witnesses' statements and police reports, but most importantly, there will be no live testimony? Did you understand?
Yes, Your Honor, I understand.
Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived and consented to stipulation of testimony and stipulations. Court will accept into evidence State's Exhibits 1 and attachments, and the court will review the same. All right, after reviewing State's Exhibits 1 and attachments, the court will find there is sufficient evidence to find you guilty, and the court will find you guilty. Are we proceeding to sentencing?
Yes, Your Honor.
Is there anything you wish to say on behalf of your client?
Your Honor, I'd just like to make the court aware of the fact that he is the primary caregiver for a child. I believe the child is about 9 years old. He is a little boy and he is autistic, if I'm recalling correctly. And so when regarding the state's request for the no contact order, I would ask the court to, if the court's inclined to make language like that, that it would be no contact unless otherwise ordered by a civil court, or no contact as otherwise ordered for exchanges or communication between the child and the child's mother.
All right. Here's my issue. Obviously, they can't do child exchanges because we are here because Mr. Campos brought a gun to the child exchange and then threatened somebody to fist fight. So I don't think he should be having any contact with Valerie Hermio. They can do exchanges through third parties.
And I understand the allegations, Your Honor, and it also concerns me when we go back to court in person, for example, when they have court dates.
Oh, I'm sure. Here's the thing. I think everybody is reasonable. Like if he has to be in a court, if he's ordered to appear in court and she appears in court, that's not a violation of a no contact order because he's been ordered to appear in court and he's been subpoenaed or whatever to appear in court. Somebody can't have him appear in court and then say, oh, you were in the 188 district court and she was there, so therefore you violated the order.
And as long as he's not getting in trouble for following court orders, Your Honor, that's all I ask.
Well, I'm telling you, he's not going to have any contact with her. He's going to have to do it through a third party. And who is this Gregorio Luna? Is that the new boyfriend?
That would be the boyfriend.
See, this is what I've always said when I was practicing on the civil side. I don't know why people want to bring boyfriends and girlfriends to custody exchanges. No good can come of that. So, Mr. Campos, you can't
Yes,
have
Your
any
Honor.
contact with Miss Hermio. So exchanges need to be done through third parties, okay?
No problem. Yes, Your Honor.
I think that would probably help you. All right,
Yes,
the court will sentence you to 5 years in prison, suspended and probated for 5 years. There's a $1,000 fine that'll be probated. APSE course. No contact with Valerie Hermio. And in case I'm mispronouncing that, it's Jaramillo. And also Gregorio, Gregoria. Sorry, Gregoria Luna. Proof of employment within 15 days. No employment with vulnerable persons. Regular Zoom reporting or in person. So Mr. Campos, if something happens and you can't report by Zoom, then you need to report in person. There'll be random UAs, or you can do the patch, whichever is most convenient. Patch is more expensive though. Anger management. 100 hours of community service restitution, or you can pay $7.25 per hour to the San Antonio Food Bank. Is there anything else from either side?
Nothing from the state.
Nothing from the defense.
Probation, is there anything else that Mr. Campos needs?
No, Judge, everything seems right. I just wanted to clarify on that. Valerie, was it Hermio or Jaramillo?
Now see, now, Brenda, he's trying to throw in some extra accents and roll R's. He knows I can't roll an R. Did I not spell it, Brenda? It's Jaramillo.
Jaramillo, okay.
See, and then he says it again. But you know what, Brenda? I'm going to ignore that. And I even had a CPS client and a family client who had that last name. So, okay. All right. Mr. Campos, is there anything else you need to be successful on this probation?
No, Your Honor. That's it.
All right, I'm going to show you a document entitled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Rights to Appeal. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it and did you electronically sign it?
Yes, Your Honor, I understood it and I signed it.
All right, because this is a plea bargain agreement, because I followed your plea bargain agreement, and because you waive your right to appeal, you do not have the court's permission to appeal. Do you understand?
Yes, Your Honor, I understand.
And also, because this is a felony conviction, and you should know this by now, you're not allowed to own or possess any weapons or ammunition. Do you understand?
Yes, Your Honor, I understand.
All right, I'm gonna send you to a breakout room with probation. They'll go over conditions with you.
Yes, Your Honor.
So if you will go
Thank
to
you.
breakout, you're welcome. Have a good one. And you know, people are gonna have girlfriends and boyfriends in their life. You gotta keep it cool. Take it to court. All right, I'm
Yes,
gonna
ma'am.
send you to breakout room number 2. So if you'll go to number 2, probation will meet you there and go over conditions.
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right, good luck. Have a good rest of your day.
You too.
Judge,
Thank you.
this is,
Thank you. All right, Mr. Orta.
we agreed on something. I'm running out of battery. That's why it's getting, I'm down to
Getting dicey.
2%. Huh?
I said it's getting dicey. That's when you need the crank where you can crank it up.
I don't have my charger with me, so, but we
So
agreed
if
on,
you all would just put it in an email to me, I'll print it out, attach it, and we'll take care of it.
It should be in your
Yeah.
inbox, Judge.
Thank you. Mr. Campos, can you go to breakout room number 2, please?
thank you, Judge. Might be
You're welcome.
excused.
Yes, you're
Thanks.
excused.
Thank you. Bye.
I think Mr. Campos is going to have a hard time going to breakout room number 2. Ah, he's there now. And we're just waiting for Mr. Mark Moreno's attorney to come back.
Judge, we also have Mr. Leslie Sandwich's client in the courtroom.
All right, Norma, can you find where Mr. Leslie Sakwanovich is?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. Leslie, your client is in the courtroom.
Okay.
All right, have you had a chance to discuss the agreement with him?
No, I
Or the
haven't.
offer?
Yeah, I need to speak with him.
All right, to the courtroom, if you can go to breakout room number 1, please.
Yes, Judge.
We got another one, or is that it?
We have one more.
Okay.
And Norma, can you recall Charles Jones for Friday, please?
Charles Jones?
Yes, he's on page 10. That's Russell Mitchell's client.
Yes, ma'am.
Oh, I'm sorry, to the courtroom. Are you already in? They are in a breakout room. Mr. Moreno, I'm going to send you to breakout room number 2 to be sworn in.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, and to the clerks, if you could go to breakout room number 2 and swear in Mr. Moreno.
Thank you, Judge.
Yes.
Is Tom around?
Who needs to speak with Tom?
Yes, please. I just need the paperwork. He'll take the deal.
All right, Tom Nesbitt, are you there? Just give me one moment. Hunter, are you there? All right.
Yes.
Leslie said that he has an agreement with Tom, but no one knows what that agreement is. I don't know if you all needed to discuss it.
I am looking that up, and we've reached out to Tom also.
Okay, awesome. Thank
Do you
you.
want me to talk with Les?
Yeah, I mean, if you can't get in touch with Tom, then maybe Les can tell you what the agreement was.
Yeah, it was 2 years deferred.
Yeah, Les, you need to go to the breakout room and discuss that.
Okay, I'm sorry.
No problem. And so I've sent Les to breakout room number 3.
Okay, I'll hop over there.
Thank you.
Judge, it looks like I started downloading the paperwork so that I could get it started. It looks like there's an issue where the narrative in the police report wasn't scanned in, and neither was the prosecution guide.
Oh. Well, is there a way to solve this problem, or is there no way to solve this problem?
The only solution would be to ask Tom if he was still at the office to scan it in for us, but he may have left already.
All right, let's see.
Let me see if my advocate is still there.
All right, thank you. And Mr. Moreno, we're just waiting for your attorney.
Oh, yes, ma'am.
All right, thank you. Thank you for your patience.
Not a problem.
All right, is there anyone here from probation?
I'm here, Judge.
All right, there's a problem I received. I'm going to forward it to you. I received where they're asking for a signature. If you could let them know that on this person, I do not agree to early discharge. It's 2018 CR 0383W
2018 CR what?
0383W. And it's Christopher Michael Cornejo. Yes, I don't agree to early termination.
When they sent it to you, was it just by itself or was it attached to other items?
It was attached to other items and I denied it. And then it still has the form that comes after it saying early termination.
Oh, the discharge order.
Yes.
Okay, no, that's fine. I'll tell him.
All right, thank you. And I'll send you an email to that effect too.
Okay.
Norma
Yes, ma'am.
or Mark Marino, can we recall him for tomorrow for a plea? The paperwork has already been completed.
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Marino, we'll take you first thing tomorrow.
Okay, not a problem.
All right, and so you'll receive the Zoom link. Thank you for your patience.
Not a problem. Thank you. You have a good day.
All right, you too.
Judge, she had just emailed me back that she wouldn't make it back before 5.
Okay,
So she has to be recalled for tomorrow.
yes. And then on Leslie Sekwanowicz client.
We were able to find it under his misdemeanor case, so Hunter's working on it. He said his guy is in from out of town, so he was really asking if we could do it today.
Okay.
Hey, Judge, it's Hunter.
Yes.
Is there an email address for the courtroom computer for the defendant to sign his paperwork?
Deputy Laura, Deputy Mejia.
I'll chat
Send
it
it
to
to
you.
me.
Yes, so you'll send it to Deputy Laura.
Okay.
All right, and then we will take that up.
How do you spell the last? Oh, okay, I got it. Thank you.
And then did you all work out an agreement on Otis Toussaint? You guys were gonna send me, Joe Ray, you guys were gonna send me an email?
Yeah, I thought defense said he was gonna do it, but
Okay,
I
well,
did it.
all right, well, I'll respond after I receive the email.
Okay, I'll just send that it was an agreement for the $10,000 bond.
All right, thank you.
Mr. Toussaint's just gonna sit.
Yes.
Judge. Judge, can you come back over here for just a second?
Sure, just give me a moment.
Can someone put me into a breakout room with my client in the courtroom?
All right, courtroom, if you go to breakout room number 3, and Leslie Sequanowicz, if you'll go back to number 3, please.
Okay, I think my client's ready to be sworn in by somebody.
All right, if the clerks, if you will go to breakout room number 3, and Mr. Leslie Sekanowicz, and if you and your client will go to room number 3. So the courtroom, if you could go back to 3, please, and the clerks, if you could go to 3 and see if his paperwork is ready.
Thank you, Judge.
All right, could someone put to Kevin Hernandez in the chat box what the agreement is on Mr. Herrera so he can already have his paperwork done and he won't have to stay too late?
Thank you.
Okay. Norma, can you have them give me the, oh, they came and brought it. No problem. Thanks. You can take that one. No, not this one, just that. What do you have? Oh, here you are. Here you go. Thank you. All right, the court is calling 2021 CR 1260, State of Texas versus Joshua Herrera. Mr. Sekwanowicz, could you show your face, please? Could I have parties announced for the record for the state,
Hunter Morris for the state.
for the defense? You're muted, and please, don't drive, pull over to the side. I will not be a witness to an accident.
I'm not driving, Judge.
Okay, thank you. We're proceeding by video because of the pandemic. Any objections from the state?
None from the state.
Any objections from the defense?
No objections for the defense, Your Honor.
All right. Mr. Herrera, I'm showing you. Is this my map? Are my eyes lying to me? Because I'm not going to be a witness to an accident. Find a parking lot, Mr. Sekwanowicz.
I'm in the parking lot.
Okay. Put it on stop. Turn off the engine.
Okay.
You know, Brenda, I'm constantly saving lives. This is why for moms, it's so tiring. Brenda, you know this when you have children, because you're trying to save lives. You're trying to put them in cotton wool, and they won't let you. They just want to do dangerous things. Mr. Herrera, I'm showing you.
This is my third country.
All right. Mr. Herrera, I'm showing you what's entitled defendant's consent to appear by video. Did you review that with your attorney and did you understand it?
Yes, I did, ma'am.
And did you electronically sign it?
Yes, ma'am.
Court will find that the defendant has knowingly and voluntarily consented to appear by video. Next, I'm showing you what's entitled application for deferred adjudication or community supervision. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it and did you electronically sign it?
Yes, I did, ma'am.
Counsel, I'm showing you the discovery acknowledgement. Have you received all the discovery in this case and did you review it with your client?
I did, Your Honor, and I received it.
Court will find that the state is in compliance with discovery. Mr. Herrera, I'm showing you what's entitled true bill of indictment. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes, ma'am, I did.
Counsel, do you waive the reading of the indictment?
I do, Your Honor.
State, are you proceeding on the indictment as presented?
Yes, Judge.
Mr. Herrera, I'm showing you what's entitled Court Admonishments. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it? Did you electronically sign it in all the appropriate places?
Yes, ma'am, I do.
Did you understand you're charged with the offense of possession of a controlled substance, penalty grade 1, less than 1 gram? That's a state jail felony. The range of punishment is anywhere from 180 days up to 2 years in the state jail facility and up to a $10,000 fine. Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Herrera, I'm going to ask you to pull that mask over your nose because it does no good if it isn't.
My apologies.
Did you understand you have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state will call and the right to remain silent?
Yes, ma'am, I do.
Did you understand by entering this plea bargain agreement, you were giving up those rights?
Yes, ma'am, I did.
And did you intend to give up those rights and enter into a plea bargain agreement in this case?
Yes, ma'am, I do.
Did you understand if the court were to grant your application for deferred adjudication, if for any reason your deferred adjudication were revoked, the court could find you guilty, sentence you up to 2 years in the state jail facility and up to a $10,000 fine? Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am, I did.
Counsel, has your client been able to provide you with any defenses to this offense?
He has, Your Honor.
Do you believe he has a rational as well as a factual understanding of the charges against him?
He does, Your Honor.
Do you believe he's currently competent and was legally sane at the time of the offense?
He is.
Mr. Herrera, has anyone threatened you, coerced you, or placed you in fear to get you to enter this plea?
No, ma'am, they did not.
Has anyone promised you anything other than the plea bargain agreement to get you to enter this plea?
No, ma'am, they have not.
Are you satisfied with the way you've been represented?
Yes, ma'am, I am.
Are you a U.S. citizen?
Yes, ma'am, I am.
Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived his right to jury trial. Next, I'm showing you the plea bargain page. Did you review that page with your attorney and did you understand it?
Yes, ma'am, I did.
According to the plea bargain agreement, state is requesting a $1,000 fine and they recommend deferred adjudication. Take in consideration 631054 and there's $57 for drug testing. Did you understand that, the plea bargain agreement?
Yes, ma'am, I do.
Defense is at the plea bargain agreement.
Yes, Your Honor.
State is at the plea bargain agreement.
Yes, Your Honor.
Next, I'm showing you the paragraph entitled waiver of appeal. Did you review that paragraph with your attorney? Did you understand it? And did you electronically sign it in both places?
Yes, ma'am, I do.
Did you understand by signing that you're waiving your right to appeal? The only items that can be appealed are written pretrial motions that have been filed, heard, and ruled upon by the court. Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am, I do.
Counsel, are there any such motions?
No, Your Honor.
Next, I'm showing you outside the plea bargain agreement, the state is requesting that your deferred adjudication be for a term of 2 years. There'll be a TAP evaluation, 100 hours community service, restitution, and regular UAs. Did you understand those are recommendations from the state and the court does not have to follow those recommendations?
Yes, ma'am, I did.
Then to the offense is charged in the indictment, how do you plead? Guilty, not guilty, or no contest?
No contest. No contest.
All right, your attorney is asking that you plead no contest. Do you wish to plead no contest?
Yes, I do, ma'am.
All right, state any evidence to support the defendant's no contest plea?
State offer states 1 with attachments, Judge.
Any objections?
No objection, Your Honor.
Mr. Herrera, I'm showing you a document entitled Waiver and Consent to Stipulation of Testimony and Stipulations. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it? And did you electronically sign it in all the appropriate places?
Yes, ma'am, I did.
Again, did you understand you have a right to jury trial, right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state will call and the right to remain silent?
Yes, ma'am, I did.
Did you understand that today the state will be presenting evidence in the form of witnesses' statements and police reports, but most importantly, there will be no live testimony? Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am, I did.
Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived and consented to stipulation of testimony and stipulations. Court will accept into evidence state exhibits 1 and attachments, and the court will review the same.
Yes.
Right, after reviewing states exhibits 1 and attachments, the court will find there's sufficient evidence to find you guilty. However, the court will defer finding of guilt as you've applied for deferred adjudication. Are we proceeding with sentencing?
Yes, we are, Judge.
Anything you wish to say on behalf of your client?
Your Honor, just one thing is my client lives in Fredericksburg, and so we asked the court to transfer the supervision to Gillespie County, I believe it is.
Is that correct, Mr. Herrera? It's Gillespie County?
Yes, Gillespie.
Gillespie.
Yeah, Gillespie.
There you go. My accent comes out. All right, Mr. Herrera, who are Jose Romero and Jacqueline Hernandez to you?
They were, well, Jacqueline was the girlfriend of my my homeboy, you could say, but no longer.
All right, and who is Jose Romero?
Romero is he is a friend. Well, he was a friend, and no longer.
So you're no longer associating with them?
No, he did a couple things after what we did in after us getting caught in San Antonio. He did a couple things after that, and he is no longer in my my friendships or anything like that. So I mean,
All right, if you're tested today, what are the results going to be? And know that I can test you. I'm asking you so I can discover what would be the best conditions for you to be successful.
Yes, ma'am. I can tell you right now, and I will be 100% honest. You can test me if you want, but I will come dirty for marijuana. That is my.
And what else? And you can pull up your mask. I'm protecting people in the courtroom. So what else are you going to be positive for?
That's it.
Where do you work?
I work as a ranch hand and also a roofer.
How many children do you have?
I got 5 baby girls.
What are their ages?
My oldest is 11, 10, 6, 3, and 1.5.
And if I ask you their date of birth, would you be able to give me that? Or is that going to take some thinking on your part?
Maybe the last two will probably take some thinking, but just the days, I know the month and whatnot.
Oh, okay. Well, if you give birthday presents at the first of the month and just say happy birth month, people will never know that you don't know their date of birth. They're just thinking you're celebrating the entire month.
Yeah.
So how old are you?
I am 31.
All right, this is what the court is going to do. Court is going to sentence you to 2 years deferred adjudication. No contact with Jose Romero. Romero.
Yes, ma'am.
Jacqueline Hernandez, no contact.
I'm perfectly fine with that.
Gang supervision. Transferred. Yes, because it says here that you're affiliated with the Texas Syndicate.
Whoa. How
Well,
they get that?
Here's the thing. That's what they say in the police report. I always read the entire reports. They'll evaluate you, and we'll see what's happening.
I mean, I got a Texas Longhorn tatted above my right elbow, and I mean, but that's because I'm from Texas, and but it's no affiliation whatsoever. Trust me. Gillespie County.
Well, they'll evaluate you. They'll see what happens.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
All right.
I just don't. I wouldn't like to be,
Well, they'll evaluate you, and if it comes back and they say no, we don't have any proof of this, then it won't be gang supervision. So, Kevin, evaluate him for gang supervision.
Got it.
Transferred to Gillespie County. Parenting classes. 2 years deferred adjudication. The UA hotline for him or the patch. Are you able to Zoom?
Yes. This morning I was on Zoom, but you had requested me to come personally for.
Oh yeah, because
mistakes
we're not.
Yes. Mistakes.
That was because of you.
Yes, ma'am. I accept all. I accept that. And
It's gonna
quick
be
question.
Regular Zoom reporting.
Okay.
Or in person.
Okay. A quick question, ma'am. How did Miguel Romero and Jacqueline come about? Or is that just because of the police report saying that I was with them at the time?
Hey, let's stick to where we are right now.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
So I need you to be on the same page with me.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Everybody tends to get a little bit loopy because it's almost 5:30 and we've been here since 8:30.
Yeah, I'm perfectly fine with that. I'm just asking because he had a kind of threw me under the bus in Gillespie as well. So also.
But here's the thing, you're not having any contact with them. So
No, ma'am.
that's
No,
neither here nor
no.
there. So
Yes, ma'am.
UA hotline or the patch, regular Zoom reporting or in person. I'm going to want random field visits 3 times per month,
Yes, ma'am.
proof of employment, within 15 days. There's to be no employment with vulnerable persons. So that means he cannot be a home health care provider
Oh, okay.
or do anything that let me finish,
Oh, yes,
or
ma'am.
do anything that involves supervision of children.
Okay.
I'm going to want a UA, Kevin, first thing in the morning. So you're going to provide a UA tomorrow morning.
Like Mr. Lady said, I do live at. Okay.
Excuse me, let me finish. So it's going to be a UA tomorrow morning. Is there anything else? I'm sorry. 100 hours of community service restitution. $57 restitution to San Antonio. Is this San Antonio? Yes, to San Antonio Police Department for drug testing. Take in consideration 63105. Kevin, is there anything else that he needs?
I think we got it.
All right, Mr. Herrera, I'm showing you what's entitled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Rights to Appeal.
Yes, ma'am.
Did you read that with your attorney? Did you understand it, and did you electronically sign it?
Yes, ma'am. And tomorrow my drug test. Like I said, I do have THC in my system, and I will have for what I'm charged for today.
Joshua.
Well, now see, let's back up a minute, Leslie, because now he's telling me he's going to test positive for more than marijuana, which I don't understand why people just won't be honest. So what else are you going to test positive for other than marijuana?
That is it, and that is.
Oh, just marijuana?
Yes.
Okay, then you're gonna have your UA tomorrow morning. We'll see what happens. You want to stick with that story?
No. I mean, I do have from what I'm charged with today as well.
See, can we speak the name? It's not like it's Voldemort. So say the name. So what are you going to? Let's do it this way, since we're playing games. What are you potentially? Wait a minute, Mr. Herrera. What are you potentially going to test positive for? Marijuana and what else?
Meth.
All right. See, did the ground swallow you up? No.
No, it's just the reason. I mean, that is not my drug of choice. I'm not big on that. It's just, like I said, I mean, I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm not gonna lie to you.
Let me just tell you right now, Dr. Pepper is not my drink of choice. And you know what? If you were to test me, I'd never test positive for Dr. Pepper. You know why? Because I don't like it. It's not my drink of choice.
Yes, ma'am.
So don't come to me saying that meth is not your drug of choice. Obviously it is, because you made a choice to use it.
Yes.
So other than meth and marijuana, what else are you going to test positive for? Tell the truth now.
Absolutely nothing, nothing more.
All right, so we can cancel the UA for tomorrow, Kevin. And what we'll do is I'm going to want intensive outpatient treatment with him to start with. And until this gang thing is settled, I'm going to do no firearm possessions. So there's to be no possession of firearms for you, okay?
That'll work out because that's already a condition of his probation.
Thank you.
I'll make that clear.
All right, so Mr. Herrera, you can't possess any firearms. You understand?
Yes, I do.
Looks like you're dejected by that. I don't know if you have Civil War arms at your house that you don't want to.
No, I don't. But I mean, I am a country boy, and I mean, we do tend to go. But yes, I will. I do agree, and I will I will keep away.
Okay, I'm going to show you what's entitled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Rights to Appeal. Did you review that with your attorney? Did you understand it? And did you electronically sign it?
Yes, ma'am, I did.
All right, because this is a plea bargaining agreement, because I followed your plea bargaining agreement, and because you waive your right to appeal, you do not have the court's permission to appeal. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am, I do.
And Mr. Herrera, the reason why I said no possession of firearms, even though it's in your conditions, because sometimes people are like, I didn't know. I was just signing. So we're on record, and you know you're not to possess any firearms. You understand?
Yes, ma'am, I do.
And you're going to be evaluated for gang supervision. If it turns out you don't belong to this gang that they're mentioning who must not be named, then they won't have you on gang supervision. But if it turns out you do, then you'll be on gang supervision. And if there's an issue, where you disagree with them, then your attorney can always come back and he can set it for a hearing, and I'll hear arguments for both sides.
Yes, ma'am.
All right.
I'm perfectly fine with that, because I mean, there's no whatsoever, believe me, that.
All right, your track record, you can go off the record. Your track record is not 100% with me right now. The reason why it's not is because the only way that you admitted that you're going to test positive for meth, a drug that you don't use, is because you knew I was going to have you tested. So we'll see what everything turns out. I'm going to send you to a breakout room so probation can go over conditions. So everyone, we're going to stop this court session at 5:33 p.m. Brenda, thank you. Everyone, thank you for your patience. To the state, thank you for hanging around. I appreciate you. And Mr. Herrera, thanks for your patience. Kevin Hernandez, thank you. And with that, we'll stop live streaming, and we'll see everybody on Wednesday, tomorrow.